The countdown has begun. On December 14, 2025, Bittensor, the decentralized AI network powered by the TAO token, will undergo its first ever halving. And for both crypto investors and AI builders, this movement could redefine what scarcity means in the world of machine intelligence. So let's break it down. For those new to Bittensor, it's not just another blockchain. It's an open, decentralized network where AI models, inference engines, and data agents compete to earn TAO rewards. Think of it as a marketplace where intelligence itself has value. Now, just like Bitcoin, Bittensor also has a fixed supply of 21 million TAO tokens, and just like Bitcoin, it also halves its emissions over time. Before the halving, the miners and subnet operators earn around 7,200 TAO per day. That's nearly 25% annual inflation, and after December 13th or 14th, whenever the halving takes place, that number drops to 3,600 TAO daily, cutting inflation almost in half. The result? Less new TAO entering circulation and higher scarcity across the network. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Unlike Bitcoin, which halves every 4 years based on the block count, Bittensor's halving are triggered by supply milestones and not time. When total supply hits 10.5 million TAO, emissions cut in half. The next halving happens at 15.75 million, then 18.3, and so on, until emissions slowly fade towards zero sometime around 2035. This makes Bittensor's monetary policy directly tied to growth and participation. The more the network is used, the faster it evolves, and the quicker halvings the ride. Now, here's why the specific halving is such a big deal. The supply shock is coming at the same time as institutional demand. As you guys might know about Grayscale, the world's largest crypto asset manager, which has been quietly building exposure to TAO for over a year now. And in 2024, they launched the first Bittensor Trust for investors, and by mid-2025, XTAO went live on Canada's TSX Venture Exchange. And in October 2025, Grayscale filed reform 10 with the SEC, the same legal move that preceded their multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin product. That means when emissions drop by 50% in December, Grayscale and other institutional buyers will still be accumulating. This is a classic example of scarcity meeting regulated demand, the same kind of formula that has actually fueled every major bull run in history. Now let's talk about what it means for the network itself. For miners and subnet owners, the rewards will be cut in half overnight. Lower rewards mean tougher competition. Only the most efficient subnets, the ones actually providing real value through inference, model ranking, and AI services, will survive. And on the other hand, the weaker subnets will be registered, and the stronger ones will consolidate, which is by design. The halvings in Bittensor don't just reduce supply, they actually accelerate evolution. And the network becomes leaner, smarter, and more efficient after every cycle. And even the registration fees for newer subnets gets recycled into reward pools, subtly slowing emissions and balancing the economy. And then there's the market. TAO has been trading between $278 to $290 in the weeks leading to the halving, but analysts are watching for a potential breakout towards $500 to $600 post-halving if the demand actually outweighs the newer, smaller supply. It's not guaranteed, nothing in crypto actually is, but every historical halving from Bitcoin to Litecoin to Casper, which has followed the same pattern, first consolidation, then scarcity, and finally the rally. If you zoom out, this halving is more than just a price, it's about legitimacy. Bittensor enters this milestone with over 120 active subnets, a thriving AI economy worth more than $3 billion, and institutional products already in place. In other words, I'll say this is a functioning decentralized AI economy tightening its own supply while global AI spending hits record highs. When you add that to Grayscale's involvement, it creates one of the cleanest narratives in crypto right now. And of course, there are risks. If TAO's price does not rise, miners could shut down compute nodes. Some subnets may collapse under lower rewards, and if the global markets turns risk off, the halving could become a sell the news event. But zoom out again, the halving is structural, it's not hype or speculation, and it's a monetary event which is actually written into Bittensor's code, which is a forced evolution that ensures the network's long-term sustainability. So as December 13th or 14th, whenever the halving happens, here's what you need to watch. TAO's circulating supply versus the demand from Grayscale and retail, and the subnet performance after emission drop, and also the institutional inflows in the early 2026. And if the equation holds, lower emissions, higher demand, growing utility, then I guess Bitcoin's first halving could mark the start of a new chapter in decentralized AI. Because from this point forward, the intelligence itself isn't just created, it's mined, it's traded, and it's scarce. And that's a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also push on that notification bell for future updates from our Crypto Talk.